Hello everybody, welcome to Destiny of Cards. Today we'll be doing a deck profile of the 4000 Festival deck of Dragon World. So, we'll talk about the spell card later. Of course, will be the key card of deck 4000 Festival. Okay, so let's see, we go to the size 3 monster. Okay, so this deck will run 2 Super Armor Dragon, Gargantua Blade Dragon. So basically this card is a size 3 monster with stats of 8000 power and defense with critical of 3. And then the core cost of this card is simply just paying 3 gauge. So when this card enters the field, you can choose up to 2 weapons from your drop zone and add them into your hand. Okay, so you can also retrieve these weapons if they are part of the gauge that you are paying for this core cost, because it's a separate line. Yeah, so the core cost is the core cost. This is the effect. So the effect allow you to return 2 weapons from the drop zone into your hand. Why is it so? Because it can use for its main effect, Punisher Blade. So Punisher Blade basically is an effect where you can discard a weapon from your hand, and if you do destroy a card on the field, do take note, is destroy a card. So you can destroy anything that is a card, item, spell, set spell, or monster. Yep. Now we move on to the size 2 monster of deck. We run 4 copies of Crimson Battle Heavy Impact Dragon. So basically this card is a unit with stats of 4000 power and defense, okay, and critical of 2. So when this card link attack with a weapon with fist, which is every weapon that is in this deck, okay, then you can destroy a card on your opponent's field. So this is before the damage calculation, so you can actually link attack, destroy whatever thing, then yeah. So if you are resisting a Raging Spirit, yeah, you can actually target your opponents as the target of attack and then destroy that Raging Spirit so that they will not direct the attack to them. Yep, so yep, this is the ruling that is confirmed by Bushiroad. Okay, next we have 2 copies of Crimson Battle Drumbunkle Dragon. Okay, so this card have a stats of 5000 power with 2000 defense with critical 3. So when this card card cost is basically pay 1 gauge and then put the top card of your deck into the card soul. So it's basically a Drumbunkle's effect. Yeah. So what make this card different? Besides you have a soul guard, is if main effect of if you have a card equipped with fist, then this card gain penetrate. So yeah. So basically any equipment that you equip from this deck, you basically will gain penetrate. But do take note, since this is a 4000 festival deck, meaning a size 1 big down deck. Now we move on to the size 1, of course. Alright, so this deck runs 4 copies of Flytrap Dragon. Yep, this card is from the new HBT03, Assault of the Omi Lord. Okay, so this card has a stats of 4000 power with 1000 defense and critical of 2. So basically most of the size 1 all the size 1 monster in this deck have almost all, not all, have a power of 4000 that is fulfill requirement of 4000 faster, which we will explain later. Yep, so this card basically have the effect of if you have another monster with original power of 4000 on your field, this card gain critical +1. So basically you just have anything that is original 4000 power. So it can be this card too, because it didn't state must be a size 1 4000 power. So this card original power have a 4000 power stats. So basically almost all the monster in this deck have 4000 power. So yep, so this card will easily get critical +1, so it's a 3 crit monster. Next, we run 3 copies of Trapmaster Dragon. So this card has a stats of 4000 power as usual, and a defense of 2000 with critical of 2. However, this card have a very high core cost. So when this card is enter the field, you can search your deck for a Dragon War spell with set. So basically 4000 Festival is a set spell, so this card actually filter for you your 4000 Festival. Okay, next we run 3 copies of Crimson Battle Rock Bunko Dragon. So basically this card have the stats of 4000 power with 1000 defense and critical of 2. So this card, when you enter the field, if you have fist weapon equipped to you, you put the top gauge or the top card of your deck into the gauge. So basically this card allow you to gain gauge. Basically this card is also the body monster of the deck. Why we run 3 instead of 4? Basically we want this to be a body monster because since 4000 Festival you need to pay 1 gauge to summon a monster. This card actually replenish that missing gauge. And then because why is it important as this is a body monster, we keep it in suspense. You find out when we reveal that secret. Okay, so we just have to run 3 copies. It's more than enough because this is 4000 Festival deck, so you can easily revive this card back onto the field if you have 4000 Festival on your field. Next, we run 3 copies of 5th Omi Cavalry Dragon Sense the Staff Arcade. So basically this card is the only size 1 monster that is not 4000 original power. However, this card is quite useful in this deck because it helps you block out the attack. So basically this card is a size 1 monster with 2000 power and defense stats with critical of 2. Okay, so the negative side of this card is you cannot call this card to the center. However, when you're dealt damage, if you have no monster in the center, you can move this card to the center. So when this card is destroyed, put the top card of your deck into your gauge. So this card allow you to gain the gauge and also allow you to gain 1 life. So yep, so it's quite a pressure card whether your opponent want to destroy this card or not. And this card basically have a mini move when you receive damage. Okay, now we move on to the spells. Alright, so since this is a 4000 Festival deck, of course we run 4 copies of 4000 Festival. So this set spell is basically the cast cost is paying 1 gauge. Okay, so all size 1 armor dragon monster with origin power 4000 power gain penetrate. So basically most of the monster, all the monster except this 5th Omi, all gain penetrate. So imagine that Fly Trap Dragon, yep, you have critical 3 with penetrate. Okay, so yep, so the effect basically what we already explained, you pay 1 gauge. If you do call 1 size 1 armor dragon with original 4000 power from your drop zone by paying the core cost. So yep, so this ability can use once per turn. However, if you have 3 on the field, yep, you can call for 3 of them 4, you have a 4/4. So long you can pay the gauge, yep, you can flood your field again. Yep. Next, we run some staple card of the deck. So we run this 3 kind of shields. Okay, so basically we run 4 green dragon shield, 4 blue dragon shield, and 1 primeval dragon shield. Okay, so what's this? All the differences is okay, so for green and blue dragon shield, when your opponents attack you during the opponent's turn, and if you don't have a monster in center, you can nullify the attack. For blue, you gain 1 gauge. For green, you gain 1 life. So for primeval dragon shield, what's the difference is when you are being attacked. So yep, this card cannot protect your monster, but it can protect you. So nullify the damage, and if you have 1 life, draw a card. So basically this card we just use for the nullify attack part. Okay, now we move on to 3 copies of Draconic Loop. Yep, so this card allows you to gain gauge 2. So when a monster that is size 2 or less on your field is being attacked, you can cast this card. So return all one of the monster that's being attacked. So if let's say Azidaka attack all 3, you can cast this and then choose one of them to return back to your hand. Okay, so yep, and then put the top card of your deck into your gauge. So this allows you to gain a gauge and you protect a monster from being destroyed by an attack. Next, we run 2 copies of Day of the Dragon. So this card allow you to pay 1 gauge, which is the cast cost, and destroy all monster on your opponent's field. But however, the negative side of this effect is for the rest of this turn, your monster cannot attack, but you are still able to use weapon to attack because it only prevent your monsters from attacking. So yep, so this can help you clear quite a lot of cards. So this like Tembu, yeah, but however is the negative side is you can your monster can attack. Lastly, one special spell which allow you to increase all your armor dragon's power by 2000. So yep, so all the 4000 original will become 6000. Yes, but do take note it won't affect the set spell 4000 festival because it just did original power. So yep, the bonus doesn't affect it, so you still will gain penetrate. Yep, and you still can call so most of the monster here, like even Gargantua Blade Dragon, will become 10,000 attacker. Yeah, so can actually help you clear second Omi lot, Demon lot Asmodai, who have a 10,000 defense. Okay, so now we move on to the weapons of the deck. We run 4 copies of Sunfist Sunshine Impact. So basically this card have a stats of 6000 power with critical of 2. It cost is pay 1 gauge. So when you're link attack with a body monster with this card, it become infinity. So basically our body monster is Rock Bunker Dranger. So basically this already have 12,000 power, but look, it will become infinity. Yep, so it's quite a good card, but we actually use this card not for this infinity attack, but because it has 6000, which is a majority of the cards have 6000 stats. Not all, but majority of the meta cards have 6000 stats. Next, we run 2 copies of Steelfist Draco Knuckle. So basically this card allow you to gain 1 gauge when you do damage to your opponent. Then pay 1 life is the equip cost, having a 2000 power stats with critical of 2. Okay, so however the power stats can be increased by paying 1 gauge. So every gauge that you pay during your main phase, it gives you plus 2000. However, the counter can only be used once during battle phase, so during an attack. So yep, a single attack, the counter ruling is only once, so you can only pay 1 time and the additional 2000 power. Lastly, we run 1 copy of Crimson Fist Draco Blaze. So this card just a vanilla, it cost 1 gauge and then 3000 power with critical 3. So basically it's just a critical weapon. Lastly, we run 3 copies of Dragonland Immersion Giga Howling Crusher. So that is why we mentioned this card is the secret card. So you gain 1 gauge, you won't affect the gauge difference. So yep, so allow you to cast this card and then yep, do the damage equal to the critical of the weapon and 1 monster on the field. So long this card can be cast when you have your body monster or a drum monster in his name. So basically Crimson Battle Drum Bunker Dragon can be considered as 1 also, and of course our body monster that can be revived by 4000 festival, or you can call them from your hand. So basically this card allow easy access to the monsters, and then adding the critical of the weapon and the monster, and you deal the damage to your opponent and the damage cannot be reduced. So basically it's a pay 3 gauge, so that's why we say that the body monster allowed to fulfill that missing gauge. Yeah, and yet you still can call a monster because you need to pay 4000 festival 1 gauge. Then imagine you only have 3 gauge. Never mind, you can call this, gain back the gauge, and then cast your Giga Howling Crusher. So we do hope that you enjoyed today's deck profile of the 4000 Festival deck, and do like and comment in the comment section below, and do let us know what deck do you wish to see for the deck profile or even a battle. Thank you, until next time, see you.